Welcome, my beautiful souls, and welcome to the Rambling Psychic Podcast. I just want to tell you a short story today. It's an experience I had last night that was really quite mind-blowing. So Sam, my boyfriend, and I got into a fight. By the way, he and I both have a Virgo sun and he has a Virgo moon, which I am learning is very deep, very, very deep and sensitive, but in a good way. And I have a Gemini moon, and I feel like my Gemini moon brings out the Irish temper in me. But we are also on a twin flame relationship, or in a twin flame relationship. So, that holding up of the mirror, I don't feel like it ever stops. But, anyways, so what happened is we got in this argument, and I honestly can't even remember what started it. But I remember saying to him, you know, before I moved here, and I moved here, I mean, I've been here about 5 years now. But I said, before I moved here, my finances were great. Now, I know, like, when I think about it now, it's because I was working from when I got up until when I went to bed. I was single, you know what I mean? And this is truly what I love to do. So, I gave it a lot of effort and I was reaping the benefits of that. So then I move in here and everything changed. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I have great love now, but my finances just like, I don't know, they dropped tremendously. And I don't know, I probably shouldn't have said that to him. Um, but it just made me think like, like have some gratitude for me moving in here. Now, I also want to say because we're in a twin flame relationship, I definitely know that I am the runner. And I'm still working on that energy of not running, working things through because we can. And by the way, Sam is such a loving, loving man. I've never been loved like I have with him. So, anyways, we get in this fight, and I say that about my money. And then what I like to do is just separate ourselves. And I always come back into my office, which is really my safe haven, just to think or relax or just to, take a break, let the fight end. So I was sitting here at my desk and just thinking about like the fight. And I had a deck of tarot cards sitting on the desk, and something told me to pull a card. So I didn't pull a card, but I actually just, I picked up the deck. And when I did, I saw the Ace of Cups in reverse. Oh, it sent me into shock for a second because I thought, what does that mean? Does that mean that our love is done? And then I heard, pick up another one. Well, instead of picking up another card, what I decided to do is go through the deck and see, like, are there any other cards reversed? Am I misreading this? Well, there was one other card reversed, and it was the Ace of Pentacles. I mean, how ironic. Here we are. My words were like, this love is causing my finances to go way down. And then I get the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. And I thought to myself, okay, does that mean that I have to choose between love or money? And I'm just reflecting upon that. And something said, pick up another card. It was my spirit guides. Um, so I did. And I got the Six of Pentacles. Well, the Six of Pentacles is all about that fine art of give and take. And boy, do I think that was a message of, no, you don't have to give up love to have money or give up money to have love. You can have both. You just need to find the balance. So I definitely felt like I was meant to hear that message right at that time. So then I thought, I want to ask, like, which one of my spiritual team sent me that message? And I just picked up the very top card, and it was the sun. Now, let me tell you what that's so special. My son, Stephen, who was a Leo, many of you know has crossed over, but is definitely, a big part of our spiritual team now. Um, he sent me that message. So I just thought it was amazing. Just like, and it was just out of the blue. But being told to pick up these cards, seeing that Ace of Cups in reverse, kind of sent me into shock. And then seeing the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Now, listen, I'm telling you, when I'm done with the reading, I make sure every card is in the upright. So for those two cards to be in reverse, well, that's beyond, that's beyond. And then to get the Six of Pentacles, which is really answering the question like, do I have to give up one to have the other? No, I just need to find the balance. Um, and then to see the actual sun, knowing that that the message was from Stephen, my son. It just, I don't know, just, I want to say blew me away, but what it did is gave me this sense of true comfort because I know he is a big part of not just my spiritual team. I'm losing my voice, not just my spiritual team, but our spiritual team. Um, so I wanted to share that with you. This is one of the reasons why I started this podcast, and it is the reason why I gave myself the title, The Rambling Psychic, because I did plan on coming on here and there and just kind of rambling. But rambling about like things like this, the signs and how clear they were. Um, I'm very good at paying attention to my intuition, and I definitely notice the signs. And I hear, like I heard pick up the deck, bit somewhere in the deck. And just that I landed on that reversal of the Ace of Cups. Um, I don't know, just kind of mind blowing. Many of you know that Sam and I are in a twin flame relationship, and I have come to learn that I am the runner in this relationship. And it's something that I still am working on. I've done that a lot in my life where I just get up and I leave. But I don't want to do that here, right? Because, Sam loves me so deeply and I love him so deeply. But that doesn't, doesn't shield you from fights. But what it does is help you to make up, I guess. So it was just wild. It was a wild experience, and I wanted to share it with you. And I thank you for just allowing me to do that. But the main reason why I want to share it with you is because I want you to understand like how involved your spiritual team is. There's no way I turned that Ace of Cups and that Ace of Pentacles around. There's no way. I know the way I work. And then to get the sun as the one who sent in the message, well, right away I knew it was Stephen, which just put my heart at ease, and truly brought a smile to my face. Actually, after that, I left the office and I went out and I gave Sam a big hug. And I said, let's just forget it and let's move on. And that's exactly what we did. But just because you're in love, I guess it doesn't shield you. from fights, but I feel like part of the lesson is learning not to let it get carried away. And I really do. That's what I do. I walk away. Um, Again, my office is my safe haven. But yeah, so I'm definitely still learning some lessons. But I also wanted to share that with you. It felt so special to me. Not at first. At first, it freaked me out. But once I got all the cards that I was instructed to get, I totally understood the message. So I don't know. I'm telling you because number one, you are my soul family. And it's interesting because I feel that I share more with you than I do with the people in my lives, except for my daughter and Sam. But other than that, like, I feel like you know me more on a soul level, just as I feel like I know you on a soul level. So this is why, again, I started this podcast to bring you, spiritual information, but also like when things like this happen, just to be able to share them with you. Um, so I do thank you for listening, and I'm trying to figure out, maybe somebody knows out there, if I can take, like, if I can do a podcast where you type in questions and I can then answer them, and it can be questions about anything. Just, it can be personal questions, or maybe you have a question about spirituality. So I'm going to try to figure that out. So that'll be the next step. But I just wanted to share this with you. I thank you for listening. I will talk to you next time. Bye bye, guys. Have a great extended weekend, by the way. And I do want to say all my gratitude for everyone who is fighting for our freedom and everyone who has given their life for our freedom. So much gratitude. So, I love you guys. I thank you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.